Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here I am again in paradise. You know what this feels like? This feels like Bareilly in India, in UP, where I used to go and visit my father's brothers. The majority of the brothers were there. They had this huge angan, as they call, with this kind of a thing, trees, greenery everywhere. I mean, it just takes me back in time as a kid. So I've just been relaxing here, reading my astrology books that I bought here, and just doing nothing, absolutely nothing. But yes, again, I am working. So today we're going to be discussing 11th Lord in the 7th house and what happens when the planet that controls your 11th house is sitting in the 7th house. And obviously, if you do not know where your 11th Lord is placed, where your other placements are, for that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects at the Speed of Light. So what is 11th house? 11th house represents the house of your elder sibling, your network circle, like your friends. It's a house of social welfare and social reform, like what you view the world as. Do you want to make world a better society? How do you want to do this? So that's what is seen from this placement. And 11th house is a house of gains through investments. How much gains are you getting through investments is seen from this placement. And so this is quite an important placement because, you know, all the wealthy people in the world really have a strong 11th house, because strong 11th house shows that you are able to gain money through investments, because you don't become wealthy by just working in 9-to-5 jobs. You know, if you want to be really, really wealthy, like the 11th house liquid gains, you have to invest your money and grow your money. So it becomes a house of investments. It's also the house of hopes and wishes, because it's a Kama house in Vedic astrology, house of desire. And your desire is all about gains in this case. How do you get gains? How do you make more gains? And what's your hopes and wishes and how they're funneling through? And then what is the 7th house? Because 11th Lord is in the 7th house in this case. Well, 7th house is a house of marriage, house of business partnerships, house of your legal business partnerships, your spouse, wife and husband, house of other people that you meet, like the strangers out in the street. And it's a house of masses, dealing with masses. But mainly it's a house of, making deals and trade, because you're no longer in the 6th house where you're servicing, providing a service. Now you have to use your brain and make that deal and trade and being a slick merchant. So when 11th Lord goes into the 7th house, what this shows is that you gain through your network circles. Your friends become a source of your gains. Through business partnerships, you gain a lot. Your spouse brings in a lot of gains, because now 11th Lord is coming to the 7th house. Gains are funneling through your spouse. So perhaps you are living in an apartment, you suddenly find a wife or a husband who you fall in love with, and you get to find out they have law firms, 7-Elevens, hotels, real estate firms, and next thing you know, you're just moving out in a huge mansion, and you're gaining, and you're living your hopes and wishes through them. So that's what this really shows. It shows that since 11th house represents your friends and network circles, and 7th house is literally your marriage, legal partnerships, shows your friends you become married to your friends. You are always obligated to involve your friends in your activities, in your marriage. Since 11th house represents your elder sibling, shows your elder sibling is always involved in your marriage. They're always giving you suggestion of how to take care of the marriage and how to deal with the spouse, or they're always involved in your business if you have older siblings. They're always suggesting you how to make money, how to do business. And your social welfare and reform thinking really comes through a sense of business. You're like, if I am providing a service, a business service to a community, I am doing better for society because I'm creating jobs. I am providing products and services as a businessman. So your social welfare is really about being a capitalist. How much money you can reap through your business, and through that, society will benefit. Perhaps you have a Walmart or a Target, and you're making a lot of money through that, but you're providing also a service to the society and to the to all kinds of people, from rich, poor to homeless people. You're providing some service. Hey, you can buy a 50-cent candy all the way to a $500 television. So that's how your hopes and wishes of social welfare and social reform funnel through, is through the business. Now, depending upon what planet controls your 11th house and sitting in the 7th house will differentiate these things. So let's discuss that. So if Sun controls your 11th house and Sun goes into the 7th house, what this shows is that your ego, your self-esteem really gets developed through your friendships, through your business partnerships, and especially through your spouse. Anytime you engage with other people, anytime you interact with other people, you get a boost automatically. Perhaps they like you, they think you're smart, they think you can do anything in the world, and that kind of boosts your ego. Oh my God, I feel good because other people like me. Because here Sun is exalted. So automatically people will be here giving you these kind of suggestions. And at the same time, shows the kind of friendships you make, the kind of business partnership or spouse you will get in life will be like a dominating father figure to you. Everybody will be out there to give you suggestions. Everybody will be out there to tell you, hey, do this, don't do this, do this. So you got to understand, Sun is not a 100% benefic planet. He's a mild malefic because his natural significance is hot. He can't help himself. Wherever he sits, he's going to burn those significance. And so here he may show a lot of ego battles with your spouse and your network circles. They say something else, you're like, no, this is me. I'm going to do this. Stop being a father to me. Same thing with your elder siblings and your father themselves. They will be involved in your business, who you meet with, who you marry. So even though they will give you good suggestions, you may agree upon them, but it might be overbearing. Because now power of Sun is really exuberant, illuminated in your horoscope. So you'll feel this burn from other people like, dude, leave me alone, So not all exalted positions are great. Unless, of course, Sun is in between 8 and 12 degrees, then your Sun will probably prove to bring a lot of sattvic people who are very good in their advice. So you will take their advice. Let's say if Moon controls your 11th house, goes into the 7th house, what this shows is that your network circle, your spouse, your, ability to form friendships and relationships with other people is really balanced, very diplomatic. You like to engage in and making friendships with people who are very spiritual, imaginative. You want to engage with your spouse. You want to get a spouse who can kind of illuminate your imagination. You are always emotionally attached to your spouse and your friends. Your friends are this nourishing people in your life, like this motherly figure. Your elder sibling will be like a motherly figure to you. They will always nourish you, baby you, take care of you, as well as the mother. The mother will always be the source of gain. Your hopes and wishes will be fulfilled through your mother, through your spouse who will be like your mother. And your hopes and wishes is to emotionally connect and be very imaginative and creative out in the world. Because remember, every planet in the 7th house aspects the ascendant, yourself, your personality. So this is shaping your personality. You would rather do something creative and imaginative than anything else. You want to be mother to other people. You want to do business and work that can illuminate people's imagination, that can heal people spiritually. Let's say if Mercury controls your 11th house, goes into the 7th house. You like to engage with people who are very communicative. Your friend circle and your network circle is always about communication, ideas, how to do business, how to do this. You're always trying to come up with ideas and business plans with your network circle and your friends. And at the same time, you only want a spouse who can be very communicative, who can be filled with business ideas that will help you gain. You're always looking for that person who's not only smart, but also very communicative, filled with ideas, filled with, any kind of scientific ideas, or any intelligence or logical intelligence about bettering the world through business. Your way of social reform and social welfare comes through providing a business service to people. You perhaps open a gas station out of nowhere, middle of nowhere, in a village, where people now are engaging and giving you money so they can get gas. You are providing the economical service to people. You might be involved in computer language business, like computer programming. Your friends are all nerds. We're all about, doing things, computer coding, because Mercury is more than just communication and writing and business. It's many other things. Like water signs or planets in water signs can represent a scuba diver, fisherman, shipping captain. or captain of a ship. We don't really look at these things in those manners. So we gotta expand our thinking, but just know everything that's represented by Mercury, you want to gain through those sources. So these people become great public speakers, writers, okay, communicators, business managers, human resource managers. Let's say if Venus controls your 11th house, goes into the 7th house, shows you gain a lot through female. Females are always attracted to you. They're always coming to you for relationships. If you're a guy or a girl, depending upon what your sexual orientation is. It also shows that you want to engage in network circle that can increase your creativity, increase your ability to perform out in the public. You want a support circle that gives you more creative ideas in your life. You want to engage in business of female, of entertainment, of art. And you want a spouse who is very creative, who is very feminine in nature. Even if you're a girl and if you have this placement, you're looking for a guy who kind of relates to you emotionally and your feelings and all that, you know, emotional fairy tale stuff. You kind of want that kind of a person. And especially these kind of people can have a lot of sexual relationships in their life before they settle or even after they settle. A lot of sexual relationships. And here you kind of gain a lot of fame. Because 11th house is a house of achievements and recognition. You get recognized by the masses through your business ideas, through your creative ideas, through your friends, through your spouse. You might get married to a celebrity and they suddenly expose you to the world. Like the Abudin, or who's that, George Clooney's new engaged girl, lawyer in UK, you know. She got exposed. Oh man. Let's say Mars controls your 11th house, goes into the 7th house. Well, with Mars, you gotta understand, Mars is a fiery, hot planet, aggressive planet, planet of war and fighting. And this is where the real power struggle comes in, more than even the sun. You love to engage with people, love to engage with very aggressive, physical, sporty people. Yet at the same time, you run into ego battles and power struggles with them because you're now trying to dominate them. Because Mars is in the 7th house, you want to dominate other people. You want to dominate your spouse. You want to set the rules and policies and the engagement of war. You want to say either it's my way or the highway because I always win the war. And that's where you will always run into trouble. This is where either these people are great aggressive businessmen who are complete loners, or if Mars is in good dignity, if Mars is perhaps receiving a good aspect, you will be engaged in partnerships and in network circles where you will be pushed to your limit. They will be supporting you like your strength, like your willpower. Your spouse will be like, and your friends will be like, come on, you can do this, we're behind you. So this person becomes really aggressive. They're like, yeah, I have the support circle to do what I want to do in this life. But mainly, you know, most of the time, Mars can bring a lot of aggressive power struggles within marriage and business partnership, because your nature is to gain through other people by dominating them. You have friends. You're like, dude, I need this. Bring it now. I need it. Okay? Just bring. Oh, give me money. You see those kind of friends who just kind of force you into giving you things and all that? That is this kind of a position. So that's something you got to be aware of. Let's say if Jupiter controls your 11th house, Jupiter is in the 7th house. Well, you definitely gain a lot of money and wealth through your spouse and through your friend circle. But you mainly gain knowledge, wisdom, spiritual knowledge, religious knowledge, philosophical knowledge through your spouse and through your network circle. Your hopes and wishes in this world is to spread knowledge to the masses, is to spread education to the masses. These people can be involved in business of education, business of finance, business of spirituality, and especially their spouse is well educated, and their spouse are the kind of source and locomotive of, you know, your moral skills, your moral knowledge, your knowledge itself, your intelligence. So, but in a bad way though, you can only gain knowledge through interacting with other people. These people depend upon other people and their spouse and their friends to provide them knowledge. It'll be hard for them to go out on their own and try to gain knowledge. They always need support of their friends and network circles to give them any kind of social or moral knowledge. So there's always a positive, negative, even with the most benefic planet, Jupiter. But mainly, you get a very wise spouse who is just always educating you, always involved in, you know, just good deeds, and, you know, but they can also be very motivating themselves. They can be, you know, very fiery, very dynamic in their ability to communicate regarding higher spiritual and moral beliefs. Let's say if Saturn controls the 11th house, goes into the 7th house. So when Saturn, as the 11th lord, goes into the 7th house, what this shows is that you gain access to friends and network circles and spouse quite late in life. You are this person who is always growing steadily and surely with age. You make more friends, you know, the more you grow in age, because it's the Pacha house, 11th house, and that's where, you know, Saturn is coming in, and it shows that your friends and network circle are very limited. You don't like to have too many friends or you know, a group of people that you want to surround yourself with. You have a very limited amount of friends. Your spouse will definitely be a source of gain and wealth, and gaining through all kinds of, you know, businesses and engaging in businesses with your spouse, because of the fact Saturn gains its directional strength in the 7th house, and here Saturn does really well. These people can actually gain far more than even Jupiter with their spouse, because first of all, they're very real and practical in business. They're very practical in personality and nature. They're like, dude, this is gonna work, this is not gonna work. And what happens is, in their marriages always lasts long. Like, these are the people who will have their 50th, you know, anniversary, that like my grandparents just did. Some people will have 60th anniversary, because Saturn slows the process. So these guys are very patient, very slow moving in business. They like engaging in making business deals with patience, with everything is organized and proper. They're not hurrying in, you know, making deals. They want to make deals that are very good and not risky, and shows that your friends and network circle will be very mature and old in age. There will be very redundant and very routine type people who have this set routine in their lifestyle, and you just love engaging with them. You're an extremely hard worker when it comes to your marriage and business and meeting other people. It takes work for you to make things work. A lot of people may not have this. They can just have everything easily given to them, and they just enjoy it. Here, you have to work your ass off. You have to work 19, 18 hours a day in your business for it to succeed. But because Saturn is the most important planet regarding your karma, regarding how you see the world and what you view the world as, you can become so good in business because you are aware. Saturn breaks your ego down, and you're humble. You know exactly how to engage with people. You know how to organize and structure your business life and your married life. So these people are actually far more practical than anybody else. Saturn is not war. Saturn is malefic, but it's not like Mars wants to create war. Saturn is simply a planet that shows reality, and when we see reality, we get frustrated. So yes, there will be frustration in relationships and business partnership unless you have this mature mind, which will not come till the age of 28, 27. Until then, these people have this tremendous amount of this dominating, frustrating engagements with other people in relationships and marriage. If these people get married early, they get divorces because they just do not know how to handle the reality of things. But as the age progresses, their income rises. Through their spouse, their income rises. Their business deals go easier. And these are the people who should not engage in business partnership. They're more good with, like, you know, solo business, like where they should be just doing business with themselves or their marriage partner. Even that, you know, it does not seem to work out most of the time. But they're just like these loner businessmen, like they just do it themselves. The more they get into partnerships, the more the frustration comes in with Saturn. But if they do it in their 40s, then it's much easier. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of 11th Lord in the 7th house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your 11th Lord is placed and all my books and all the reports, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Let me enjoy my day now.